Last year, Canon released the M5 mirrorless camera, which was well received by EOS users because of its functionality. We now have in the lineup, just announced, the Canon EOS M6. Dave, where's this fit in the EOS M series, and what's it got inside?
Right, okay, so yeah, as you mentioned, yeah, we've got the M5, the M6, and then the M10. So this is going to sit right between the M5 and the M10.
Right.
So internally, this is a completely new camera. So we've got a Digic 7 processor inside here. We've got a new sensor, which is the 24 million pixel sensor, very similar to the same kind of technology that we have on the 80D, the 1 series, and also the 5 series as well. So obviously it'll be a different type of image quality because it's not the same as the full frame cameras like the 1 series or anything, as it's APS-C size sensor. But the sensor comes from the same generation. Got dual pixel CMOS AF inside here, so really, really fast autofocus system. And actually this coupled with the Digic 7 processor will give you a very, very fast autofocus. The great thing about Digic 7 is its ability to recognise objects, so either objects that are moving or objects that have low contrast and this kind of thing. So it can really lock onto your subject and has the ability to track it through the shot, which is really, really nice. So we've got a variable angle screen on the back here. So this is a touch screen, and it goes 180 degrees upwards or 45 degrees downwards. So this will be really good. We know these cameras are really are used quite a bit by vloggers and people like that. So to have the 180 degrees is really useful if you're shooting just when you're on your own and this kind of thing.
What sort of video features has it got for the vloggers?
So full HD movie at 60p. It's also got mic input. And something that's quite interesting on this camera, which we haven't had before, is it's got a 5-axis IS system on here, which uses the extra areas on the sensor that aren't normally used for image capture to be able to compensate for any kind of movement. What's really nice about this is even if you're using a lens that doesn't have IS on it, you will get an IS capability. And as we know, digital IS works really well with movie shooting compared to optical IS.
Now, there's no electronic viewfinder built into them, but on top there is obviously this optional electronic viewfinder here.
Yeah, so yeah, if you want the inbuilt viewfinder, obviously we've got the M5 in the lineup, but this one we wanted to go for a smaller, lighter body, so we've decided to do the viewfinder as a separate. So this is the EVF DC2, so this is a second generation of viewfinder. It's smaller, lighter than the DC1, but is also backwards compatible.
Okay.
So you could use this if you have a G1X Mark II, or if you have one of the other M series cameras, you can use this viewfinder. And it comes in the two colours, so you have the silver one you've got there, and then you've got the black one here as well, which goes with this one here. So it's a 2.36 million dot, and it's 120 frames per second, so it's a very fast refresh rate. But as I say, it's much smaller, lighter. It doesn't tilt through 90 degrees like the one does, but it's a very nice small addition to the M series lineup. So you'll probably find the EVF really handy if you're doing sports or action photography, and bearing that in mind, the camera will actually do 7 frames a second, so it's a very, very quick camera for this sort of type of product.
So you mentioned the viewfinder comes in 2 colours, obviously the cameras do as well. Build quality and the dials and switches on there are all really ergonomic, which is really great. You also got your little pop-up flash there too. Is there any Wi-Fi connectivity to it?
Yep, so you've got Wi-Fi, NFC, and also Bluetooth on here as well. So there's dedicated Wi-Fi buttons, so once you've set the camera up, you can hit that one button, connect to your smart device and start using it. Now what's really nice about the Bluetooth capability of this is that even if the camera's in sleep mode, so you can switch the camera on and set it to go to sleep after a certain amount of time. But if the camera's in sleep mode, if you use your smart device connected through Bluetooth, you can activate the camera, so you can start it up, start reviewing your images, or start shooting remotely without even touching the camera, which is a great function for the Bluetooth. As you mentioned about the controls on here, what I really like is you've got the control wheel and the shutter button there, and you've got a new control wheel at the back here, and exposure compensation dial on top. Makes it a very, very quick camera to use if you couple this then with the dial on the back. So I say the ergonomics has been well thought out, I think, and now because we're a few generations in on our mirrorless cameras, I think we've got some really nice functionality here.
I really like the silver and black design there. It's really great to see technology which is being used in CSCs, which has been taken from your digital SLRs. Dave, thanks for seeing us.
It's okay.
For any more information, click on the link below or head into your local London Camera Exchange.